Bon matin, good morning, good evening. Hello, everyone. Bon matin, Gordy. Hey, Alok. Back from, yes, you were there last week. Welcome back. Simply Great Games. Hello. Hey, Guillermo. Oh, Mike representing. Hey,
Yes.
a Botpress
Happy
t-shirt.
birthday.
I usually have my Botpress hoodie, and yeah, I don't have it today. No, you're making me feel bad.
Mhm.
I have to
You
keep one
need
of
to
those shirts in
represent.
the office. Yeah, so I can just like put it on before I get on camera. I did. Great. Yeah, so Mike, last week we were building a ClickUp integration. Well, we were starting to build the ClickUp integration, and we took the really long route of explaining pretty much everything that goes into um, creating, well, setting up the framework, the architecture of a Botpress integration, just so we could like get an understanding of it. So it took us like a whole hour to get that done. Put those functions into our integration export, and this is where we were going to start writing the functional aspects of our code. It's actually integrating with ClickUp and starting to see some things happening in the two systems. Um, This is something that normally would take us about 30 seconds. It's like 3 command lines that we can review. Um, but when we left each other, though, we left on a great note. You said you were going to have lunch and you were going to eat a sandwich. It was going to be a really good sandwich. I never
Yeah.
asked you what that sandwich was. I've been thinking
What?
about it all weekend up until now.
Yeah, a good sub sandwich.
All
Tomatoes, lettuce,
right.
pepperoni. Yeah, it was good.
It wasn't Subway, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Homemade?
Homemade.
Homemade with love. All right. Hey, you can have a Discord name with nothing in it. Is it okay if we call you Void? Sure. Is it really? How do you do that? It's just like all space characters. They don't trim that out. How do you do that? Blank is typing invisible characters. Oh, oh. Okay. Great. Okay, so how about we just jump into it? I'm gonna go like crack my fingers a bit, stretch them out. I'll be writing some code. My fingers are a little chilly. Wonder if I'm gonna be able to hit those special characters. Um, Change window. You're going to VS Code. Go
Hmm.
live. There's enough of one of my faces up on screen there. Okay. Oh yeah, so what we were talking about, we needed a quick recap that our viewers on YouTube are going to be able to just like skip through, so they'll be watching the videos, the videos in sequence. Node version equal or greater than 16 is required to build integrations. That was our colleague Frank mentioned. Though Mike, you were saying 18. So if we want to be safe and you can use 18, go with 18. Otherwise, 16 should be adequate. What all we needed to do really here was to run. PNPM, DLX, Botpress, command line, init to get this whole framework put in place for us so we could just start writing our code, really. Let's get integrated, Jeremy. Thank you. Index. Okay, so index file is where everything's happening. We talked about actions. We'll do those in a later video. Register happens once we save. What was it we said? When we enable and then save the integration. Unregister is when we disable it is deleted, not when disable. Right. Okay. So yeah, that was that subtlety there. I'm happy I wrote that down. Happens once we've really removed the integration from our bot completely. So register, I was thinking about that. Like this is like a one-time thing that's going to happen. There's some integrations that use that already today. What was the one you spoke to me about, Mike? Was it Sunco?
Telegram is using the register function.
Telegram? Why? Why does Telegram use that register function?
Well, it's practically the same thing as ClickUp. Well, sometimes you need to use a webhook URL and set it manually in the system. And sometimes you can set it in the register function and by calling the API.
Programmatically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this way it's a lot easier for the end users. The user only needs to give us tokens or API keys, and we can set up everything programmatically.
Okay, so for example, when I go and set up Slack, I need to go create an app in Slack, and then it creates this webhook that I need to copy and paste in my integration configuration. In the case of Telegram, we don't need to do that step in Telegram. The app just registers itself and then gets that webhook back from Telegram on the register, and then that's what we start using, so the user doesn't have to do that manual step of creating it and then copying it in the configuration.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what I got? Okay. I was thinking of Messenger, for example, has allows you to create a welcome screen through in the Messenger. Allows you to create like a welcome message, and then you can click a button and just get started. And that has to be set up via API. It's like, I think, a one-time thing that you'd set up for your bot the first time. Would that be something, for example, that we could add in our current Messenger integration? Like as a bonus, you could configure what you want in your welcome screen. We'd put that in the register function.
Yeah,
and
exactly. It would be the right place. Basically, the register function is anything you need to set up using the configuration of the integration will be run in this function.
Okay. And we'll see that with ClickUp too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I was worried. I wanted us to be able to see the register function, because I heard you don't always need to use it. Sometimes you do, and then there's these situations where it's useful. Okay. And then register. Well, we can choose to remove it or not. The handler. So we'll see the difference between the handler and the channels. The handler was receiving anything that's coming into the Botpress integration webhook, and the channels is every time we want to output one of the messages from the bot back to the user. Okay. All right. I think I reviewed that. Did anybody have any questions in the chat? Feel free to send them in as we go. We'll try to answer them as we build this out. So, Mike, Josue's for ClickUp. That project management, task management, kind of like Jira, Monday, Asana, Linear, for example. We'll see. I'll be showing the screen that in the browser, probably there later as we do some tests. Okay, Mike, where do you want to take us next? Here, I guess it's a little bit understanding the ClickUp API, because I'm going to definitely have to make some calls there. All right.
The first thing we need to do when building integration is read the API and know how the system works and how we can integrate with it. So we can open up the ClickUp API and read a little bit about it.
All
So
right, we'll do that. Let me close a few windows here because last time my Discord just died on me. Don't want to do that again. Okay, the colorful screen, I believe. Yeah, this here. Okay. I got these. I had these tabs already warmed up in the oven for you, so I didn't have to search too much. So this is the page we're referring to, the API. Yeah. Okay. So the API reference.
exactly. So here we can see that the API is really well documented and that most features that we need are right here in the authentication section where you have it right there. You can see that you can use either a personal API token or the OAuth flow. OAuth flow is a little bit more complicated, so for this demo, we'll use the API token. And we need to create a token to use it in Botpress. So this is what we're going to do first. Create a token to call the API. So you can go in your workspace in ClickUp,
I have that here.
and in the bottom left, you can click on your profile, then click on apps,
App Center.
uh, only
Apps.
apps,
Okay. All
yes.
right. Yeah.
And at the top, API token, you can generate a new one.
Oh,
Yeah.
how everybody sees it. Be nice. I'll
Good.
regenerate that after.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we have an API token, so we need to understand which other information we need to call the API. So if we go back in the API documentation, the next thing we need to do is look up some endpoints. So we'll look into the task endpoint, for example. So if you go a little bit lower in the left menu, you'll see tasks. And take the
Excuse me.
first
There you go.
option here. Yeah. If you look at the right information right here, you can see that there isn't anything else we need when calling this endpoint. So we'll look into the webhook.
Anything else? Just for me, um, does that mean we need the authorize? We just need the authorization key that we
Yes.
the token we just generated and no other properties?
Exactly. So
Okay.
all the other properties are specific to tasks. So in which list you want to create the task, what information will be returned. So all of those things are specific to this endpoint. There isn't anything global. There isn't anything more that we need when setting up this API. So
Okay.
we'll look into webhooks now. We'll need to set them up. So we need to understand how they works. So if you go in the webhook,
I
at
think I
the
opened that one already. Huh?
yes, it's open right here.
Yeah. Okay.
So in ClickUp, fortunately, we can create programmatically the webhook. So you have an endpoint to create a webhook. So right here, there's a small link you can click on in the yes, right there. Good. This is the API to create a webhook, and this will be done in the register function.
All right.
How this API works, it's pretty simple. You just create a webhook in the ClickUp system. You need to specify in which team you want this webhook to work. And you need to specify also the list of events you want to subscribe to. So if we want to do this in the register function, we'll need to add the team ID in our configuration. So right now, we figured out that we need two information, an API key and a team ID when setting up the integration. So we'll go back in the code and start working on this.
All right. All right.
All integrations have a configuration section. This configuration section is the form that will be available to the end users that will use the integration. And for example, now we need the API key and the team ID, so we'll add those to the configuration form. This is done in the integration definition.
Right, the one we built last time with the schemas, the Zod objects, that we also use the CLI to generate the how did you call these auto-generated support files or typings?
Yes, all the
Okay,
typings are generated in there.
typings.
So
Okay.
we'll do just that. We'll add a configuration key in the integration definition, just beside the version at the top.
Because we created tags for okay, yes. All right. How did you call that? API
Configuration.
key? Oh, configuration. Okay.
Yes. So inside this configuration, you need a schema, which will define all the available options. And the schema is the same thing as the other ones, as that object. So we can create the object. And inside this object, we'll add two properties, the API key, which is a string. So API key z.string, and the team ID. So team ID z.string also. Perfect. So this is all we needed to add a configuration to our integration. We can deploy it so that we see what this does when the integration is available then after deploying it. You can go in your terminal and do pnpm space dlx at Botpress /CLI and login. Takes a little bit of
So here
time.
we're just gonna. Well, I need a token
Mhm.
in my Botpress. Okay,
Yeah, this
I'll
one,
go.
I think you should hide the token this time.
I can do that on my on my personal workspace.
Yes, well, we'll do it in the Botpress demo works one I added to, I think.
Oh,
So
okay.
use your token, paste it in, and you should have the choices of the demo workspace.
Okay, so that token I get from my user, and it can really apply to all my permissions across workspaces. So I'm an admin on the Botpress demo. As being an admin, I can install integrations or deploy private integrations. Okay,
Yes.
just for the sake of um,
You don't need to hide the VS Code. It will be hidden in the terminal.
I just want to show people where we go get that Botpress
Mhm.
API key. That's in settings, I imagine, for my no.
In your profile at the right and personal access token.
Okay, now these should be hidden by default, right? So I have a bunch of them. I don't even remember what those are. So I'm um, if I don't remember what these are, I kind of have to recreate a new one.
Mhm.
Okay. Do we see the so this is where we create tokens, personal access tokens in your profile, and then you click generate token. It's going to give you a token that then you can copy over. All right, so I'll generate that. Share my I generate token. What's this token for? I'll say ClickUp. Generate token. Copy. You said here I didn't really need to hide my VS Code, so bring that back here, put that there, enter. Okay, it's showing a whole bunch of things here. Botpress demo.
Yes. Perfect. Something we can do to speed up the command line is adding some scripts in your package.json. So I'm sending you some scripts you can copy and paste in your package.json,
Okay.
and you can just add those scripts.
Those that we already had in the okay. Those you, as I like saying, already had cooking in the oven.
Mhm.
Package JSON scripts. I could just literally override this one with what
Yeah.
you sent me. I'll make a copy of it beside, and I'll erase the other one. Okay, because I'm missing this one. Do I need this one?
No, you don't. You can
No.
just remove the script section. Yeah, perfect. Good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, okay, version, BP version, yeah, login, BP dev, BP gen. Is that in the default package?
I don't think so.
No, type check.
Maybe we'll add
Okay.
them.
Because this could, yeah, be a good practice to have these there by default.
Mhm.
So it's command line, it's short,
Yeah, the
it's
other
command line for
option
short
would be to
aliases.
install the CLI globally, but if you don't want to, this way is a little bit easier to use the CLI instead of using DLX.
I'll share that. Absolutely, Jeremy. I'll share that in the Discord chat there, what I just pasted in. Okay.
So
Yeah,
to
do I need to
continue,
have do I need to have Botpress command line? Oh, we do have it as a dev dependency
Mhm.
already. Okay, so we didn't install it globally, but it's a dev dependency because it's a dev dependency. I have access to it by running these command lines. Okay, so this, um, so to call these, I just do it pnpm login or run login. I'm used
you,
to
you you already did the login, so you should be logged in. The next
right.
one will be deploy, but we'll do a little checkup in the integration definition to make sure everything is fine,
Okay.
and then we can do a deploy just to make sure. Okay, that's good. So you can do a PNPM BP deploy.
pnpm bp deploy. This is running this
Uh,
here.
sorry, PNPM run deploy. This will be running.
Ah,
Mhm.
okay.
Perfect.
pnpm run tells me to look for the script in my package that has the term deploy, which is my alias for BP deploy. Okay.
Mm.
What? Oh,
Oh, you
yeah.
need to go in the ClickUp folder. Yeah.
Does that cause a problem with the login?
No, no, didn't. Nice, perfect. So you can override the already existing one to test out everything before the demo. So now we've deployed the integration. We can go back in the Botpress dashboard to see this integration.
In the Botpress demo workspace.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Here
if
I go
you,
to integrations.
oh, no, not this one. This was a
Oh,
test. If you go in the top right settings section of the workspace, you'll have access to the integrations. Those are the private integrations of your workspace.
okay, that I deployed. Whereas the other integrations up here is the hub. It's the public
Mhm.
integrations that are available. Okay, to everyone. Okay, so these are my private integrations.
Yes, exactly.
Ah,
We can see right here that we have access to the ClickUp integration with all the settings we've defined in the integration definition. Something we can do is create a new bot. So if you go back in the bots list, the top
Okay.
left.
Oh, we don't see the configuration here though. That's only when we
No,
install
we
it.
don't.
Okay.
Yes, we'll do that right now.
Okay. Okay. New chatbot. Ooh, what name are we gonna get here? I'm always. What do we get? Oh, a bright owl. Okay.
So if you go back in the private integration section, we'll be able to install this integration in. Yes.
Oh. Oh, this is cute. Okay, that's a little different than the hub.
Mhm.
Add to bot.
And then we can configure it. That's
It's giving
perfect.
us all the steps. Huh? Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, so now we have the API key and the team ID, like we defined in the integration configuration. We can
Yes.
copy
Okay.
and paste those information. So if we go back in ClickUp, copy the token, paste
Okay,
it in.
everyone. I hope you're using your own token as you're following along, because otherwise we might see some weird things in Mike's workspace.
Yes.
Okay,
In
team
the,
ID. I didn't check where we got the team ID.
you can go back in the ClickUp dashboard in the main menu, and in your URL at the top, the
Yeah, it's
first
usually
ID
where
you
it is.
see is your team ID.
Okay.
Yeah, most
It's workspace.
systems,
It's kind of the same way the Botpress works, literally. Right?
yes, it's the same thing as the
Like,
workspace.
it's my workspace is this ID, and then
Mhm.
my bot's ID is this one here. Okay. It would
And
pollute the interface to put it like in the screen, right? It's already there in the URL.
well, we'll probably add it in the screen, like Slack does, with a smaller hidden place you can copy and paste it more easily than the URL.
Okay. And then we have, okay, yeah, that would be cute. But that
Mhm.
may be just me. I'm always looking for something in the UI somewhere. I have to go check the URL and I have to make sure that I'm getting the right characters. Got to zoom in. I
Mhm.
got LASIK on my eyes, but I'm still getting old. Save configuration. The bot is not deployed. Jeremy's saying, okay, with his energetic penguin, he can't see the custom integration in the list. But did it deploy? Did you do a deploy, Jeremy? PNPM? Do you have like a particular error message in your console?
Hmm.
We have Jeremy following along. We'll have a quick look. Okay, Jeremy, click up demo. Okay.
Looks like it's working. If you have access to it in your.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Ha. Guillermi. Okay, back to that. We went a little quickly there. So when you're in your bot, the integrations here is for the public integrations. Now, it's confusing because Mike had this integration already ready in the oven, right? We wanted to test things out, get familiar with the ClickUp integration just to make this session a little more efficient, so you don't watch us figuring out the API as we go. So it's normal that you don't see ClickUp here. You shouldn't see ClickUp because this is a public integration. You
Yeah,
have to go into
exactly.
your.
I just want to clarify some things. The
Yeah,
integration
go
we
ahead.
see here are the one installed inside the bot. So when you install it,
Oh,
they
yes.
actually, yeah. So
That's right.
the
Okay, it's because we
hub,
installed the integration from over
yeah,
here.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All
So this the
right, so it's
thing that Jeremy is missing is just to go inside the integration section and click on install at the top right. This way he will be able to install it inside his bot and then.
okay. Okay, got it. If that was confusing with me with the teacher, confusing things, need us to re-explain. Don't be shy to ask in the chat. So again, to your profile, excuse me, the gear in your bot integrations, and then you'll see the list of integrations that you've deployed to your workspace. and then you click install here, select your bot. Then, and only then, will the integration appear for your bot in the integrations tab here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we can go back in the code to continue developing the integration. Right now we have all the configuration that we need. And
Hey, my key
then,
disappeared.
oh, no, you're in the wrong bot. I'll delete this bot, so you can, yeah, it won't be confusing.
Okay, all right.
This is so if we go back in the code, we'll start implementing. The first one will obviously be register, so we can receive all the events from ClickUp.
Yes.
Uh,
Uh,
I'll be sending you a ClickUp client. Since there isn't any client available on NPM, I made a simple client for you to use. So you can copy the
okay.
code and paste it in a new file called client.ts.
This is it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the client for me is an API, a wrapper of the ClickUp API, so we don't have to write the URLs and the Axios gets all the time, and then fetching the user data. So if I get a user, you already have that API. That API query built for us ultimately.
Mhm.
Okay, I can share that in the Discord channel for those that are following along. If Discord allows me to, at the size this file is. Yeah, 52 lines. It looks good. There's nothing in there that's sensitive, Mike.
Nope, nothing at all.
Okay, there you go. Probably
Perfect.
save it as a file and upload it as a file instead. But okay. All right. So we will be using this.
Yes. So next step is to register the webhook inside the register function. So if we go
Yes.
back in index.ts, we'll use the properties that the register function receives. So one of them is called CTX or context. The context contains the configuration. So if you um, open an object in the parameter and you do control space, you should see the list of available functions and properties. So
Okay,
right here
so
we
we're
see.
already destructuring the object
Mhm.
that we're receiving into, okay.
So the
So
first
if
thing we
any of you
can
are
do.
confused with this syntax, this is ES6 destructuring. It's a thing I learned like 3 years ago, and I'm still amazed with it. I just find it so cool. Destructuring. Yeah, everybody knows, Jesse. It's cool. Stop it. Okay, let's keep going. CTX, and then there's,
Yes.
do we need to go get all of those?
Uh, we can use three of those. You'll need CTX, Logger, and Webhook to set up everything.
Webhook URL?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the advantages of using the SDK is that we give you some features out of the box, and one of them is the logger. This logger allows the integration to send logs directly in the bot logs. So if we use it right here, we can do logger dot for bot and its function, and then dot info. And we can write registering ClickUp integration. Yeah, perfect. So this line will appear in the bot logs when we enable the ClickUp integration. Every time we enable the ClickUp integration. After doing this, something that we can do is initialize the you just copied. So we'll
Yes.
import the ClickUp client from the file. So import from .client. Yes, and if you open an object, you'll have access to the ClickUp client right here. Yes. Nice. So on the next line, const ClickUp equal new ClickUp client. This client requires the information we just passed in the configuration. This information is available in the context. So you can do ctx dot configuration dot token dot API key, since we called it API key, and the same thing with the team ID. Perfect. Just to make sure that we have access to the API, one call we can do before adding the webhook is just to get the current user. So ClickUp, await, and then ClickUp dot get user. Perfect. So this will
Why
test
are we
out
getting the
if
user?
we're just testing out if we have access to the current user. This way, when you enable your integration, we can do a small check to make sure that the API key you provided was a valid API key.
Mm. Okay, they're checking if you're getting like a 403 unauthorized or some sort. Okay,
Exactly.
understood.
If you gave us a random string, then we can't really set up webhook. We can't ensure that all the information correctly entered.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next step is to create the webhook. In this next step, I'll send you a small function to set up the webhook, and then I'll explain what happened in this function. So you can use this one, copy it at the end of the file, and we'll explain it.
The end of this file here.
Yeah.
Okay, I can share that in
Yep.
Discord as well. Is the code going to be pushed anywhere we can access post stream? Yeah, that's right. Haven't been doing that. Could possibly, yeah, after every stream, set up a GitHub and push the code in the state it is at the end of each stream. But for sure, at the end of us building this integration, the integration will be made available publicly in the Botpress hub, and the source code will be available in the official Botpress repository, integrations repository. Okay, I'll share this now with you. There we go. Okay. All right.
Good.
I'm
So
listening.
this function, what it does, basically, it lists the webhooks in ClickUp, make sure that one isn't already created before creating a new one, and it updates the current webhook if it already exists. Pretty straightforward, and we are listening on two events: task comment posted and task created. So yeah, we can use this function at the top of the file in the register function.
Okay, great. This is okay. These events are what we're going to be using like as triggers later in our studio. This is exciting stuff. I'm already eager to get to. Okay. What did we just put in here? Set async, set webhook. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, perfect. So in the webhook URL, we just have at the top. Nice. So now we have a function that will set up everything we need so that we can listen on new comments in the ClickUp system. We can save this and deploy it in the Botpress admin.
Okay, save this. There's like no packaging of this required. It just like
The
save the
CLI
file
does
and deploy.
everything. Yeah. And you
This is
can
fun.
use -y when deploying so that it won't prompt you every time.
Like dash Y like this.
Yes.
So it says yes to. Do I want to override the existing? There's already one. Do you want to override it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I always get nervous when it comes to deploying something, but here we go.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So we can test out if this worked. Go back in your dashboard, and then we'll see. In the Botpress dashboard, we can enable the integration. Right here, enable, then save.
My integration was installed with a previous deployment, at
Mhm.
least in my head. Is my installed integration updated with the most recent deployment? Do I have to reinstall it every time, uninstall, reinstall, or?
Yeah. Well, we haven't added versions yet. So right now,
Okay.
when you deploy an integration, it overrides the existing one. So we need to be careful and not do breaking changes when overriding the integration. So yeah, the new one is already available. You can just enable,
Okay.
see if it
Oh, we already configured it, so now we just enable. Boom. Oh, wait,
and
and save.
mhm. Wait a little, and it should say that everything worked properly. Yeah, perfect. So
Now we put a
if you go,
logger, right?
yeah, and then we should see the logs and uh, oh, before seeing the logs, we need to configure, well, we need to create a bot. We can create a small bot in the studio.
Let's go create our bright owl. Start from a template, basic template, just nothing.
Mhm.
Empty bot. I'm gonna go say hello. Hi, Sabrina. Bye, Sabrina. Standard node. Just gonna say like ClickUp and little
That's perfect.
expression here. Oh, flow logic expression. I love that this expression is now defaulted to always.
Mhm.
Okay, this is good enough, right?
Yep.
I don't really need to test it. We'll publish it.
Mhm. Something we can do also is to
Sabrina's
remove.
everywhere. Excuse me. You were going to say.
Yeah, so something we can do is remove the web chat. We don't need it. We'll only test ClickUp. So if you go back in the admin panel dashboard, oh, some errors. Oh, we see our log. ClickUp registering ClickUp integration.
Yeah. Chatbot deployed.
Nice.
Okay, well, I'm probably okay to ignore this.
Yes, I think so. This is yeah. We'll ignore this for
Okay.
now.
All right.
If you go back, you can remove this one. We won't be using the web.
Like, can I
So
delete it or just
yes,
disable it?
at the top, well, at the left on the web chat
Oh,
menu, you can remove it.
yes. Okay.
That's a little bit hidden.
I was waiting for like this big
Mhm,
red button, kind of advanced, and then when I click delete, is it gonna ask me like to write the name of the integration? Yeah. Okay. It's still safe.
mhm.
Web chat. Remove. Bye bye. Okay.
Oh, mhm,
Naturally.
mhm.
I'm moving on to the next one. Okay. All right.
Okay, good. So we added the ClickUp integration to our bot. It set up the webhook, and now we need to handle the webhook. So if we go back in the code, we'll handle what we receive from ClickUp.
All right. We
Uh,
have 15 minutes for this.
okay, okay. Yeah, I think I can handle that.
Oh, it's okay. We'll get to where we get there for this one. And yeah. All
Mhm.
right. Handle. You said we need to handle it. I have a feeling we're going in the handler.
Yes, we are. The first thing we'll do is deconstruct the props we receive in the handler.
Oh yeah, I got this. Create an object. Control click.
So we'll
CTX.
need three things: CTX, request, and logger, and client, I mean, sorry. Nice. Good. At first, we'll look if the body is empty, so we can skip any processing. An empty body isn't useful, so if the we can do an if statement if the body is empty. So if not request.body, return. Nice. On the next line, we'll parse the body that we receive. So it's an HTTP request. We use the body to we use ClickUp sends us a JSON, so we can do const body equal JSON.parse, and we can pass it the body. Yes, perfect. Something I won't be doing is error handling. I will just skip this part. It can be done after, but right now we'll just assume that everything works well and that we have access to, there isn't any errors.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Then we can look into the body if the event that we received was task comment posted. So if body.event equal a task comment posted. Perfect.
Well, these are the ones we're registering to. Here, I want to make sure that it's typed them in, imagine the same way. See, I went with the capitalized. Okay.
Good. So something that is a little bit particular in this case is that since you use your personal access token, the bot will be acting as you. So you don't want to add messages, incoming messages that your bot created himself, because it will answer to himself and it will create a loop where the bot creates a new comment in a task. The comment is handled by the integration handler, then it's sent back to the bot, and then the bot reply, and this creates a loop. So the first thing we'll do
This is
is,
an issue like in pretty much all systems. Whenever
yes,
the message is created, you have to check in the event if it was created by the app or by the bot. That there's a property that we can check for that, right? Most of
yep,
the time.
yeah.
Okay.
The first thing we'll do is to get your user. So get the same thing we did in the register function. So we can copy the ClickUp client and the get user.
Oh, I'll have to new user again. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Excuse me, new ClickUp client, then get user. All
Mhm.
right. Yep.
And then we can create a variable to get the information. So const bot user equal await client dot get user. On the same line, you
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I gotta work
Mhm.
on my keyboard action.
Good. The way ClickUp works when it sends us the task comment, it sends us the history. Something we need to do is go through all the history, make sure we've created in our system all of those messages. So something we can do is a loop. So for um, const history item of body.history underscore item.
History underscore item.
Items, yes, items.
Items. Okay.
Yes, Perfect. So this will go through all the events we received. So the first thing we'll do is for each item, we'll make sure that the bot didn't send this comment. So we can do an if statement. If the bot.userid, bot.user.id, I mean.
Bot user.id. Yep.
Yes, equal history item.user.id.
Triple equal always.
Yes.
History item dot
User.id.
user.id. Okay.
Then we can continue the loop because we don't want to handle messages created by our bot. After this if statement, something we need to do is to create the user that created the comment from inside the ClickUp system. So we'll do inside Botpress. So we'll use the Botpress client provided in the handler. So const open the object and then user here will be equal to await client.get or create user. Nice. And then if you open an object, you'll have access to all the props required for creating a new user. The last time we set up the definition, we added tags for Botpress users. Those tags will be used to reference the user in ClickUp. So there's a tag named ID. So this is the one we're going to use. So if you go back in the index, we'll use a tag. So you can add tags, open an object, control space, and now you can do ClickUp ID.
Why ClickUp ID over ID?
At the moment, both are possible. The API will add the prefix to the ID if you just specify the ID. So both are the same. We'll just use ClickUp ID to make it clear.
Okay.
And then colon after the string. So
After what? Here?
yes, right here, yeah. This is the key, and then we need to add the value. So here colon, then the value will be history item.user.id. And to make sure that this is a string, we can do .toString.
Here?
Yeah.
Excuse me, where?
Yeah, right here. .toString. Perfect. So right now, this is creating...
Okay.
Yeah, because I think in ClickUp it's a number. And the tags needs to be an ID. So what we did here was we used the ID from ClickUp, the user ID in ClickUp, and we created a Botpress user that references this ID. So we have a user right now. The next step is to create a conversation where the user sends the comment. So we'll do the same thing for a conversation. So const.
Okay, so to be sure I understand correctly, this so many users getting me a little confused. We can be multiple users in ClickUp. There's myself, there's yourself, Mike. It could be like Jan, Bassam, Rohan. So what happens is whenever, for example, Rohan would create a comment, would post a comment in a task, we're going to, in Botpress, create a user for Rohan. So that conversation always takes place with him, for him, inside Botpress. Okay, all right. And when we create a user, we're going to have to probably create a conversation later, so that we can send messages to that conversation.
Mhm.
Before we continue, Mike, we have a question. Is the Botpress client meant to be used only inside integration code?
Well, the client isn't really, it's unforgiving. If you don't know and you don't read the documentation, it's pretty hard to use. Um, it can be used for more administrative use cases, like listing the messages your bot sent, getting the analytics, or get programmatically. But managing conversations using the client, it's not really done for that. It's better to use the SDK like we're doing right now with the integration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it, got it, got it. And okay, better to use the SDK when you want to create conversations. Okay. I had tried using it on my own custom chat widget UI and gotten a bunch of errors about Botpress not recognizing my ID. Okay, so that's exactly that example. So a custom chat widget UI. So okay, so this is where it fails. We're creating the user, creating the conversation, creating the message. While you're able to list everything out, you can't create these things. So I imagine, like, I mean, we've had this discussion for several times.
Mhm.
There will be an API. There is an API in the works dedicated to creating conversations, creating users, creating messages, literally through API. Will
Mhm.
that be accessible? Do we know? To the extent of what you're allowed to say today, like, is that going to be like in the client? Is that going to be in these DK? Is it going to be a different, something different altogether?
It will be
Too early to
different.
say.
Yeah, yeah. I can talk a little bit about it, but it will be different together. We really want to separate the API client and the chat client, which will be used to uh, talk directly with your bot. This client will be built for this purpose only, and we add a lot of requests for this, so this is why we are in the process of creating it. And yeah, I think this is all I'm going to say about it, but it's in the work. Yeah.
That's already great. So we know we'll have two clients, and one is going to be like really specifically dedicated to messaging,
Mhm,
creating a conversation, creating a user, and creating messages. I think I said this like maybe 10
mhm.
times in the last 5 minutes. I hope that answers your question. Um, Kartuk, if I said that right. Okay, let's keep going. So we created the user.
Yeah. We can do the same thing for the conversation.
Same thing for the conversation. So conversation. I'm hoping this is like exactly the same thing. Dot
Mhm.
get or create conversation tags.
And then you can do control space. Yes. So you have the task ID. So in the history item, the task ID is available uh, directly in the body. So body.task_ID. It's not even in the history item. So you can, it's only body.
Uh, just.
Just body, yes. You can remove the request also.
Oh yeah, I got my body here.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
Oh, yes. And now the reason why we're seeing an error right here is that Botpress allows you to create multiple channels inside an integration. So if we go back in the integration definition, we can see that in the channels section, we configured one channel called comment. This will be the place where we interact with the task comments. But we could have other channels. If you have real-time messaging in ClickUp, system, or if you can add comments to a team discussion or something like that, you could create other channels. So right now we only have one, but you could have others. So this is why we add an error. We need to specify in which channel we are creating the conversation. So right here, we can add beside the tag the channel. And the only available option, if you do control space, will be comments. Yeah, perfect. So now we have a conversation and a user. So something we can do is add messages in it. All the messages that we received, we'll add them in the conversation. So we can do exactly the same thing. Const message equal get or create message. So now there are a lot of properties here. First one is the conversation. So you can use.
Like you. Okay, sorry, it cut off for me.
Oh,
There's a conversation ID
yep.
that we
It's
can
the
use from, I guess. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. We just created this one. The same thing with the user ID. And then we'll add the type. The type also only have one option, since we only declared a single type of message that our integration can send and receive, which is text.
Yes, we message, right? Message text purely. That's the okay. Yeah, text.
And then inside the payload, we can add the content of this message. Text. And this is available inside history item dot comment dot text content, text underscore content. Nice. And we only require one other option, which is the tags. So we need the comment ID. The comment ID is available through history item dot comment dot ID. And we will also do toString on this ID to make sure that the string.
There we go.
Good. And if we want, we can log the message content at the bottom. So logger dot for bot dot debug. No, we didn't have the logger. Yeah. And then message dot payload dot text. Perfect. Now we're receiving all the messages from ClickUp. So something our bot will be able to handle those messages, which is the first step. And then the next step is to send message to ClickUp.
Okay, so we're already at the top of the hour,
Mm-hmm.
even past the top of the hour. We could we deploy, like, is this in a state where we could deploy this right now and create a task and a comment in it, and we could see it in the bot log?
Yes, exactly. We can test it out right now.
Okay,
So
I'd like to do that, and then we'll call it a day and continue building. Continue building next week at the same time. So, quick recap for myself and maybe the audience, if they're wondering. We're receiving. Okay, so in the handler here, we're receiving the events we registered on the of. Okay, we're receiving these events we registered on the webhook. That webhook is the it's ClickUp literally calling the webhook ID in our integration. Configuration, the ClickUp integration configuration, that webhook ID there. They're coming in through there. This is what the handler's taking care of. We're receiving that comment history, and all this block of code that we're doing here is creating the user in Botpress, creating the conversation in Botpress, and sending the message in Botpress. So Botpress really has everything set up to start replying back to ClickUp or to the user that added a comment in a task, which we'll do next session. So we're going to be kind of closing that loop from receiving something and then sending something back. So really in this state now, in theory, I'm ready to do a PNPM run deploy. Not even waiting for you to confirm. This is how confident I am.
Yeah.
Change
And then we
windows.
can go and ClickUp.
There we go. Okay, in ClickUp, yeah, I want to be in my logs here. I want to see this appear down there. Okay, we don't need to reinstall it, as we mentioned, because in ClickUp, that's right. Okay, there's already a task here, so I can take that task and like drop a comment in there.
Yep. On the right side, you have the comment section.
Comments down over here. Okay, got to get familiar with this too. So we're handling text, right? So I can't do any of these fancy things right now, I believe. So just really just plain text. Okay. Hi from ClickUp. Yeah. Enter.
Yeah. But just as a reminder, since you use your API key and the bot is acting as yourself, it won't be handling the message that you are sending. So this message will be skipped by the integration.
No. So I can't see it.
No, you can't.
Okay,
But
so when we set up like an integration like this, okay, this is interesting. Okay, the way we set it up, I need like an integration user, like an app user in ClickUp. Because I mean, I'm creating the integration. I probably want the bot to respond to myself.
you could do that. You could add multiple users and create multiple accounts. You could do, yeah, all the options you have are depending on the system you're integrating with. Sometimes you have a bot user separated from yourself. Sometimes you need multiple accounts to test it out. Depends on the system.
Depends on the system. Okay, because like Slack, if I recall, it could have been created by me, but there's a property that said it was me, but it was the bot me,
Mm-hmm.
or was like, or the app that there's a property that it can make that distinction, so I can still have it reply to myself. Okay, so this is a tough integration to build. Like I absolutely need a different user in my workspace to test it out once I've created. Okay, so hey Mike. Okay, thank you, Mike. So you said hey from Mike. I should see this in there.
Yep. But you can refresh the logs at the top right so that you'll see it appearing.
Hi from Mike.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Message received from this on ClickUp, and then starting the main flow. So we see we're actually like really kickstarting the bot and
Mm-hmm.
going through the dialogue manager and being ready to reply. Oh, so it's actually just running this here, ClickUp, but we did not implement in the integration the message back to ClickUp. So this message just got created and it's going nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. We made an empty function, so Botpress thinks it worked and it sent the message, but it didn't. It didn't do anything. But we'll implement it in the next session.
Yes, yes. Okay. That's pretty awesome. I'm going back here. Short second, in index and channel. All right. So we didn't implement it.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, we could have like in the demo integration here, the template that's created by the CLI, it says throw not implemented error. We didn't do that because we didn't want everything to fail in mobile web. Okay. I'll stop my stream now. Stop streaming. Yes, we almost there. Okay, so next session, we'll send messages back. So all the message cards really that we're going to see is what we're going to implement. We're not going to implement the other content types. So that means like I could have an AI task that runs, sets a variable, generates some text, have my send message, use that generated text from the AI card, and then reply back something to our user. So it would reply back like as a comment. Okay, so what I would expect to see is Jesse, me replying back to you, Mike, with my bot reply.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so at the speed we're going, I think we'll be able to implement that in the next session. We might be able to get started on a trigger, the events, or like the next event. Is that where you want to bring us? And we'll finish with the actions. Okay. All right. So we can expect possibly at least another two sessions before we complete this fully. All right. Okay. Mike, thank you very much. It's a pleasure as always. Thank you everyone in the audience. So we'll see you next week, same time, same day.
Yes. See you next week.
Bon appetit to you, Mike. I know you're going to go. Is it a sandwich again today?
Yes, it's a sandwich again.
It's a sandwich. It's Mike's the sandwich guy. It's the sub sandwich guy. All right. Bon appetit. And well, good evening, good night, and have a great day to everyone. Cheers.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.